Los estudios comenzaron en 1931 bajo el nombre Associated Shocking Pictures. Fue recién en 1938 que pasaron a llamarse Ealing Studios bajo la producción de Michael Bacon. En sus comienzos, Bacon tenía una productora independiente, la cual fue cuna de Hitchcock. Fue quien le dio su primer papel como director y con quien filmaría más adelante películas como...
Now, why did you decide to go for comedy?
Well, I think that it was a sort of reaction after the war. You know, we had just emerged victoriously from war, you know, and you know, to make a land fit for heroes to live in, and we thought it was a sort of celebration. I think, you know, the age of cynicism. It didn't follow until some years later. In any case, we didn't depart entirely from from realism, because if I might mention, you know, just to point the argument, if I can mention Chaplin. Chaplin's type of comedy is to play against a cloud cuckoo background. But all the Ealing comedies were played against realistic backgrounds. They were odd people, odd human beings that we all know, playing against very realistic backgrounds. And so it wasn't such a big departure as one might think.
From around 1949 and into the 50s, Ealing becomes particularly associated with comedy. There's a run of films, including classics that we still love today. Films that are directed by people like Robert Hamer, by Charles Crichton, perhaps the greatest of the bunch, Alexander McKendrick.
We're telling a student that film is like paper. It can be used for anything, and the medium has got so many purposes, so many uses, that you can do anything with it. One of the things you can do is the entertainment industry. You can use it as a personal means of self-expression in the most abstract and personal individual form, which many of the film artists at the Institute here are really doing. They're thinking of film the way a painter thinks of canvas and paint. And they are not overtly conscious of who their audience is going to be. They're thinking of it purely as self-expression. But then you can use film for political or social polemic. You can use it in a documentary sense for education. You can use it for medical research. You can use it for anything.
Charles Crichton fue otro de los famosos directores que trabajó en los estudios. Fue el encargado de comenzar el ciclo de comedias con el que Ealing sería asociado. La primera de ellas fue Hue and Cry. La película exploraba los destruidos paisajes londinenses posguerra con el objeto de reflejar la imagen del país. 41 años después, luego de varias nominaciones, Crichton ganaría el premio BAFTA por mejor contribución al cine británico.
But I have a big message for young directors who are trying to get into the business. Do not work with all those talented artists, because you get on the floor in the morning, you know what you're going to do, you've got it all worked out, and then they have all sorts of ideas, and you're absolutely lost.
También se destacó por Lavender Hill Mode, protagonizada por el multifacético Sir Alec Guinness. Dicho actor se destacó en muchas películas de los estudios, tales como Lady Killers y por su maravillosa interpretación de 8 papeles en Kind Hearts and Coronet, sin olvidar su rol en The Man in the White Suit. En la actualidad, los estudios son escenario de famosas series y películas como Shaun of the Dead, Notting Hill, Dorian Gray y la serie Downton Abbey.
I think what Ealing films have now, and something that seems all the more clear the further they disappear back in time, is what an uncompromising vision of the world they offer. Because Ealing films describe the creation of the world in which we live now, the world of the welfare state and the NHS and the post-war settlement and consensus. The world that made us all, and a world that now is being called utterly into question. And if we want to know what we might lose over the next few years, we should go back to those films and look at the world that they describe the building of and decide whether or not we'd still perhaps quite like to live there.